I've lived in Wilton all my life, and I always loved Nelson's growing up. It's such a great store. Today we decided to visit Doug Nelson to find out what it's like running a candy store. Nelson's Candies, Unwrapped.
Hi, I'm Doug Nelson. How are you girls?
Good. Hi, I'm Jessica.
Hi, I'm Valerie.
Hi, Valerie. Jessica, how are you doing today?
Good. And you?
Good, fine.
So what are we making today?
We are making saltwater kisses today. Ooh. And they're called winter spice kisses for Christmas time. Oh. And you'll get to see the whole show. Okay. This is just a mixture of corn syrup, sugar, salt, and a little bit of shortening. What we're doing right now is we're going to start working on a stripe.
Is it going to be like a green stripe?
Yes, green, and we're also going to do a red stripe. But in the meantime, I have to keep this gathered up so it doesn't get too cold on me. It's all physics. Yeah, there's water that runs underneath that plate that keeps this cold. There's the green. Mix this in.
How long does it normally take to make?
Once I get going, I can do a batch of kisses in about an hour. No, this is just going to be kept to the side, and this will get put onto the taffy after it gets pulled on the hooks, and we air it up. We'll bring this back over and put the stripes on at the end. They've been making kisses like this for over 100 years. Same way. That is red food color.
Oh, it's like gel food coloring.
Yes.
I have some of that.
This one here is, unlike this one, this is a water-based color.
Looks gruesome.
It does. It's going to look pretty when it's against the candy. This candy is going to turn snow white on the hooks once we get the pull in it. That is, well, yes, there's salt in it. There's so many stories to that. It's hard to know exactly how that derived. There is one theory that I go with. Years and years ago, this store that was down in Rhode Island on the ocean, they had a terrible storm and the water come up over the boulevard and totally drenched all the storefronts. And one of the guys that was running a taffy shop realized the kisses were all soaking wet with the ocean water. And so they got to thinking about it, and well, instead of throwing it out, it's only seawater. After it kind of dried up a little bit, they sold it as Saltwater Kisses. I actually can understand that because you have a lot of those storms down on the seacoast.
I've been to a bunch.
And I think that's probably the one that I would probably think to be more realistic, you know. Okay, this is going to go over to the hooks now. This is ready to be pulled. All right? Okay, now we're going to start this up. This is a Hildreth taffy puller. This thing was made in 1903.
Whoa. Wow. And it's like still running?
Oh yeah?
Oh my.
Well, they made things to last back in those days. That machine right there that's going to cut and wrap them was made in 1906. My grandfather was pulling these in 1911, just the same way we do them here. You guys would have really enjoyed that. Now this is a mix of oils. This stuff is really potent, and this is all the spices, spice oils. Wintergreen, cloves, cinnamon, peppermint. That's really strong. This would actually burn you if you...
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It kind of smells like toothpaste.
Oh, no, I thought that. And I was like, toothpaste.
And I also have a little shot of vanilla in there with it.
So how did you get started?
I started working with my father and my grandfather when I was no bigger than you, no older than you. Yeah.
What made you want to get into the candy business?
Well, unlike today, when I was a young kid growing up, I just found myself at the beach. Your parents expected you to work. If your family was running a business, and I just found myself at 13, 14 years old. No one asked me. It was more or less, we need you down at the beach. So instead of playing baseball all summer with the kids, I was down at the candy store. So years come to go and pass, I managed to stay in this business all these years. And I learned everything I know in this trade, which is a chemistry. It's a chemistry from my grandfather and my father. Yeah. The original Nelson started in Lowell, Mass, and they got established in 1914, and we've been in business ever since. Yep.
Almost 100 years.
Yep. I come up to Wilton in 1993, and I've been here since then. We still have the Candy House in Chelmsford, Mass, and my sister Janet, she runs a store down at Hampton Beach still, and my daughter runs a store up in Cornville, Maine. And we also have a making place up in Albany, Vermont. So we're around. We're still around. We don't have a lot of the younger generation interested in it, which is a shame, but it is what it is. See that? That's a sign right there when you see it start to string.
Shiny.
Right. Pull this right off. I run the exact same machines as this down at Hampton Beach. I'm back in the early 1960s. Okay, so we're gonna bring this right back to the water table now. We're gonna kind of fold this back in. I'm gonna get the cold inside. I want this to get nice and firm all the way around. When you kids get a little older and you go out in the world and you start working, you're gonna find out that you have to, no matter what it is you do, you gotta do it right. And you gotta put your back to the grindstone, and you know what I mean? Like my father would say, what did you do today to justify your existence? You know what I mean? So, you know, we all have to do that. We were thinking of putting some signs up on a building. We might do it too. Made in America, you know, made here. Okay, we can start the striping now. We're gonna work on this. This is gonna be 6 stripes all together. We're gonna do a red and a green and a red and a green right around it. Well, there's so much to learn. It's mostly hands-on, yeah, and you got to be interested in it. You don't want to be, you know, in something like this and not be paying attention like, oh, you know. Most of the candy I make now is just from, it's in my head, you know. Yeah. All the different temperatures, and they don't teach what we do, even in like culinary schools. You know, I don't think there's a place you can go, is there, where you can learn the candy trade?
I've never seen one.
No. A pastry store can show you some of it, right?
What is that?
That's their cornstarch. See how quickly that flattened out on us? That's what I really didn't want to happen. That's the Kiss wrapper. That's what's going to wrap this candy. Cut it and wrap it. Okay, this is going to go over here now. We're going to get this through the Kiss wrapping machine.
Awesome. So what time do you have to wake up in the morning to get here? Do you have to wake up pretty early?
I don't worry too much about that anymore. I'm usually in here around 9 o'clock. If I'm doing hard candy, Christmas candies, I try to get in a little bit earlier. Okay.
Like I've been here before and I've seen on the machines and I just think to myself, what does that do?
Oh, yeah, no. No, you wouldn't until you see it actually working. This batch came out huge. I maybe pulled it a little longer than I should have.
Is 2 bins going to be enough?
I don't know. Okay, let's see if we can get this going. Hold that paper, Rachel. That tool? Yeah. See, that's the finished product. Here, you can have one. Well, that was it, girls.
We loved visiting Nelson's Candies. It was such a sweet time.
Thanks, Mr. Nelson!